यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा श्री राधा माधव अष्टपति वृंद की जय पंचतत्वा की जय नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय भक्तराज महाराज की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णा चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे बृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। Hare Krishna. So we are in Canto 4, Chapter 21, text number 25. So Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to the session again. So we are in fourth canto. That means like last time we heard that it is a conversation between Maitreya and Vidura happening. Prithu Maharaj had already done the 99 sacrifices, and then Brahma came and he asked him to stop the sacrifice. Then there was a description. Vidura asked about Prithu Maharaj more, and Maitreya is still explaining where he told him about the physical appearance of Prithu Maharaj, how he was so beautiful. And now that he has entered the sacrificial arena, he did not come in a kingly form. He just came as a simple mendicant or with a deer skin and a ring made up of the pusha grass. And then they also, Maitreya also specified that although he is the king, although he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he did not show it. He did not show that he is the leader. He just, um, wanted to take approval for the suggestions what he has given from the people, great people who were assembled over there, sadhus who were assembled over there. That is what we saw. And we also heard about the speech of Prithu Maharaj, how it was, and he because he is so great king that he was ruling all the 7 islands. but still he had a lot of enemies also. Great people also have enemies, but then he did not look at them. He did not converse with the people who were envious. He started talking to people who were who were sadhus. Yes. So then he's saying that humbly he's asking everybody that I have a suggestion and I want you all to approve it. So he was talking about how the king duty of a king is. So duty of a king was what? To take care of the citizens, and not just to take care of their food and water and shelter. No, not only that. He is also supposed to make them understand the importance of human form of life and make them understand the relationship with the Lord. So make them God conscious. That was the main duty of the king or the leader, which we saw. Because yeah. So it is not that a king is not the one who is going to simply collect the taxes and make the people suffer. The praja is suffering, and the king is just collecting taxes. So he will get all the sinful reactions, even of the praja. If the citizens are doing something wrong, that also will go to the king. That was what we did till text number 24. So today, text number 25. तत्प्रजा भर्तुर्पिण्डार्थं स्वार्थम् एवानसूयवा कुरुतादोक्षज धियस्तर्हि मे अनुग्रह कृतः. Yes, Sindhu Mataji, would you like to read the translation purpose?
May I read, Mataji?
Archana Mataji. Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prithu Maharaj continued, therefore, my dear citizens, for the welfare of your king, after his death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of your positions of Varna and Ashramas, and all should always think of Supreme Personality of Godhead within your hearts. By doing so, you will protect your own interest and you will bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after death. Purport. The words Adokshaya Diya means Adokshaja Diya means Krishna consciousness are very important in this verse. The king and the citizens should both be Krishna conscious. Otherwise, both of them will be doomed to lower species of the life after death. A responsible government must teach Krishna consciousness very vigorously for the benefit of all. Without Krishna consciousness, neither the state nor the citizens of the state can be responsible. Prithu Maharaja, therefore, specifically requested the citizens to act in Krishna consciousness. And he was also very anxious to teach them how to become Krishna conscious. A summary of Krishna consciousness is given in Bhagavad Gita 9.27. Yat karoshi yadasnasi yajjugoshi dadasi yad yattavasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give in charity, and whatever penances you undergo should be done in Krishna consciousness or for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If all the people of the state, including the government servants, are taught the techniques of spiritual life, then although everyone is liable to be punished in different ways by the stringent law of the material nature, they will not be implicated. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji, Archana Mataji. So, in the previous shloka, what did the king say? That the one who doesn't teach the praja about their duties, then they will suffer, right? They suffer for the impious activities. So he's telling the king is going to suffer. So if I have not done anything, I will suffer. That is the mood he is creating in them. Somehow or the other, he wants all the citizens to be Krishna conscious, to be God conscious. So he's telling them, so for my welfare of your king, since you are considering me as the king, so for my welfare, after my death, what you should be doing? He's telling you should follow this varna and ashrama properly. And also, how you have to do that? To think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead always within your heart. So what happens by that? that is good for you also, because you are in mode of goodness, and also you will give that mercy to your to the king after his death. That is what Prithu Maharaj is saying. So now Prabhupada is telling that here the word adhokshaja dhiya is very, very important. Adhokshaja, we know Krishna's name. So dhiya means Krishna consciousness. He always, you have to have Krishna in your mind. So, if you are not a Krishna conscious, means the citizens and the king or the leader and the people who are under him, if they are not Krishna consciousness, then they are doomed. Not Krishna conscious means they will become notorious and they will do all impious activities. And once impious activities means you are not getting a human birth again. You are going to the lower species. Yeah. So responsibility of the government is what? To teach Krishna consciousness. So it is the benefit for everybody. So Prithu Maharaj is telling the same thing. He is requesting. So Krishna consciousness means what Prabhupada has given, that it is already told in Bhagavad Gita 9.27. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are giving in charity, everything, whatever penances you are doing, you do it as an offering to me. You do it as a satisfaction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If all the people, if they are doing this, then they are all adhokshaja diya and they will not be punished. Punished by from the stringent laws of the material nature, because they are not going to be doing any impious activities, right? So this is what he is talking in text number 25. Let's see to text number 26. यूयं तद् अनुमोदत्वं वित्तुदेवर्षयो मलः कर्तुः शास्त्रोरनुज्ञातुस्तुल्यं यत् प्रेत्य तत्फलम्.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 26, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, and saintly persons to support my proposal for after death, the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The government of Prithu Maharaja was perfect because it was administered exactly according to the orders of the Vedic injunctions. Prithu Maharaja has already explained that the chief duty of the government is to see that everyone executes his respective duty and is elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness. The government should be so conducted that automatically one is elevated to Krishna consciousness. King Prithu therefore wanted his citizens to cooperate fully with him, for if they assented, they would enjoy the same profit as he after death. If Prithu Maharaja, as a perfect king, were elevated to the heavenly planets, the citizens who cooperated by approving of his methods would also be elevated with him. Since the Krishna consciousness movement going on at the present moment is genuine, perfect, and authorized, and is following the footsteps of Prithu Maharaja, anyone who cooperates with this movement or accepts its religious principles, second, accepts his religious principles, will get the hand symbol is hiding, Mataji, so I'm just not able to read the word. Scroll up, Mataji, bit. Yeah.
Can we request everybody to lower their hand when speaker is asking? Only that time, please raise your hand, please.
Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry. Yeah.
The present moment is genuine, perfect, and authorized, and is following in the footsteps of Prithu Maharaja. Anyone who cooperates with this movement or accepts its principles will get the same result as the workers who are actively propagating Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Sindhu Mataji. So here, Prithu Maharaj is requesting. He is not again ordering, just remember, he is requesting to all those pure-hearted, all those people, yeah, to support his proposal. What is his proposal? That everybody becomes adhokshaja diya, everybody becomes Krishna consciousness. If they support it, what he's telling, after death, the result, whatever Prithu Maharaj is going to get, that is going to be shared by everybody. That is what he is saying. So, who all can share the results of the karma or the action which we are doing? He's saying it's doer, director and the supporter. The one who supports also is going to be benefited. So I was just listening to a class in which that Prabhu was mentioning that Srila Prabhupada is the person who was spreading Krishna consciousness to everybody, and one of them was what is his name? Harrison, George Harrison. So he was just a supporter of Krishna consciousness. He never took initiation. So when one of the disciples asked Prabhupada about Harrison, Prabhupada said, "No need for him. He is already Hari's son." Like that, he used to, even those who are supporting this Krishna conscious movement also get benefited by this. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually, Advaita Acharya so had it seems heaps of prasad grains, food grains over there, and he wanted to divide it so that equally share it up. But that did not decrease, it was the same 100% only. It did not become 50%, 50%. So the point I'm trying to make is when you are sharing Krishna consciousness or when you're distributing Krishna consciousness, it is not going to get decreased. Our knowledge will not come down about Krishna consciousness, or our bhakti will not, oh, I shared my bhakti with them, that bhakti will come down. It is not like that. It is going to be equally distributed amongst everybody. So so, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best example who has shared this Krishna prema, and that is why we say this prayer Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate. So he is the one who distributed Krishna prema to everybody without any distinction. Mm. So who can distribute Krishna prema? It is only the one who has this Krishna prema, and who is having the Krishna prema. First is topmost Radharani and Krishna. So they are the one. Krishna is the one who can distribute the prema, right? And we should always Krishna and his followers or his disciples or the parampara which is coming on. They distribute the prema to everybody, and we are so fortunate that we have come into this movement wherein we are into the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are getting this opportunity to become adhokshaja dhiya. So we should grab this opportunity very soon, grab this opportunity and become adhokshaja dhiya, and get the same what Prithu Maharaj is telling, right? What is he telling? Equally shared by its doer, director, and supporter. So if not we become the pure devotees, but at least a pure devotee who is recommending us, Krishna will have to accept. Okay, Prabhupada is telling that this particular devotee is very good. She is chanting 16 rounds. She is following all the principles. Then Krishna will oblige. Okay, I will take her up. So like that, we are very very fortunate to be in this movement wherein we have our Guru Maharaj, we have Srila Prabhupada, who are just showering their mercy on us. Hare Krishna. Need to also follow the footsteps of Prithu Maharaj. Let us go to the next shloka, text number 27. अस्ति यज्ञपतिर्नाम केषाञ्चिद् अर्हसत्तमा इहामूत्र च लक्ष्यन्ते ज्योत्स्नावतया क्वचित् भुवा. Krishna Prabhupada. Who is reading? Divya Desai. Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please scroll down, Mataji. Translation. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Shastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be a person who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prithu Maharaja's sole aim in ruling his kingdom was to raise the citizen to the standard of God consciousness. Since there was a great assembly in the arena of sacrifice, there were different types of men present, but he was especially interested in speaking to those who were not atheists. Has already been explained in the previous verses that Prithu Maharaja advised the citizens to become Adoksha Jatiya, which means God conscious or Krishna conscious. And in this verse, he especially presents the authority of Shastra, even though his father was a number one atheist who did not abide by the injunctions mentioned in the Vedic Shastras, who practically stopped all sacrificial performances and who so disgusted the Brahmanas that they not only dethroned him but cursed and killed him. Atheistic men do not believe in the existence of God, and thus they understand everything which is happening in our daily affairs to be due to physical arrangements and chance. Atheists believe in the atheistic Sankhya philosophy of the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. They believe only in matter and hold that matter under certain conditions of amalgamations given rise to the living force, which then appears as Purusha, the enjoyer. Then by a combination of matter and the living force, the many varieties of material manifestations come into existence. Nor do atheists believe in the injunctions of Vedas. According to them, all the Vedic injunctions are simply theories that have no practical applications in life. Taking all this into consideration, Puttu Maharaja suggested that atheistic men will solidly reject the views of the atheist on the grounds that there cannot be many varieties of existence without the plan of a superior intelligence. Atheists very vaguely explain that these varieties of existence occur simply by chances, but the atheists who believe in the injunctions of the Vedas must treat all their conditions under the directions of the Vedas. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said that the
Hare
entire
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
That you do this purport is very big. We can ask someone else also to read one paragraph.
Hare
Would
Krishna
anybody?
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, shall I read Mataji?
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In the Vishnu Purana, it is said that the entire Varnashrama institution is meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The rules and regulations set up for the execution of the duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, or Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis are all meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. At the present moment, although the so-called Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras have lost their original culture, they claim to be Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras by birthright. Yet they have rejected the proposition that such social and spiritual orders are especially meant for worship of Lord Vishnu. The dangerous Mayavada theory is set forth by Shankaracharya that God is impersonal, does not tally with the injunctions of the Vedas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore described the Mayavadi philosophers as the greatest offenders against the personality of Godhead. According to the Vedic system, one who does not abide by the orders of the Vedas is called a Nastika or atheist. When Lord Buddha preached the theory of non-violence, he was obliged to deny the authority of the Vedas. And for this reason, he was considered by the followers of the Vedas to be a Nastika. But although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very clearly initiated that the followers of Lord Buddha's philosophy are Nastikas, or atheists. Because of their denial of the authority of the Vedas, he considered this Sankirtis, Sankaritis, who wanted to establish Vedic authority by trickery and who actually followed the Mayavada philosophy of Buddha's school to be more dangerous than the Buddhists themselves. Thus, Sankarite philosophers,
Shankarite
philosophers theory that we have to imagine a shape of God is more dangerous than denial of the existence of God. Notwithstanding all the philosophical theorizing by atheists or Mayavadis, the followers of Krishna consciousness rigidly live according to the injunctions of given in Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted as the essence of all Vedic scripture. In Bhagavad Gita 18.46, it is said, यतः भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. This indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of everything. As described in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Asyetaha, the Lord himself also confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Atham Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha, I am the origin of everything. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of all emanations, and at the same time, as Paramatma, he is spread all over existence. The absolute truth is, therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and every living being is meant to satisfy the Supreme Godhead by performing his respective duty. Swakarma tam abhyarcha. Abhyarcha. Maharaja Prutu wanted to introduce this formula amongst his citizens. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to read?
Yes, Mataji, can I read?
Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank you. The most important point in human civilization is that while one engages in different occupational duties, he must try to satisfy the Supreme Lord by execution of such duties. That is the highest perfection of life. Swanasthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir harir toshanam. By discharging one's prescribed duty, one can become very successful in life if he simply satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The vivid example is Arjuna. He was a Kshatriya. His duty was to fight, and by executing his prescribed duty, he satisfied the Supreme Lord and therefore became perfect. Everyone should follow this principle. The atheists who do not know are condemned in Bhagavad Gita 16.19 by the following statement. Tan aham dvista
Dvishata
pururan
Puran Samsareshu Naradhaman.
Radhaman. In this verse, it is clearly said that persons who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the lowest of mankind and are very mischievous. Under the regulative principles of the Supreme, such mischievous persons are thrown into the darkest region of material existence and are born of Asuras or atheists. Birth after birth, such Asuras go still further down, finally to animal form like those of tigers or similar ferocious beasts. Thus, for millions of years, they have to remain in darkness without knowledge of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to read further?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Shall I read Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Purushottama, or the best of all living entities. He is a person like all other living entities, but he is the leader or the best of all living beings. This is I'm sorry, Mataji. This is stated in the Vedas also. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. He is the chief of all eternals, the chief of all living entities, and he is complete and full. He has no need to derive benefit by interfering with the affairs of other living entities, but because he is the maintainer of all, he has the right to bring them to the proper standard so that all living entities may become happy. A father wants all of his children to become happy under his direction. Similarly, God or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has the right to see that all living entities are happy. There is no possibility of becoming happy within this material world. The Father and the Sons are eternal, but if a living entity does not come to the platform of eternal life of bliss and knowledge, there is no question of happiness. Although Purushottama, the best of all living entities, has no benefit to derive from the common living entities, he does have the right to discriminate between their right and wrong ways. The right way is the path of activities meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as we have already discussed. Swanustitasya dharmasya samshidir hari toshanam. A living entity may engage in any occupational duty, but if he wants to have perfection in his duties, he must satisfy the Supreme Lord. As such, one who pleases him gets better facilities for living, but one who displeases him gets involved in undesirable situations. Should I continue, Mataji?
Anybody else would like to read? Otherwise, you continue if no one is reading.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu, continue.
Yes, Mata. It is therefore concluded that there are two kinds of duties: mundane duty and duty performed for the sake of yajna or sacrifice. Yajnartat karma. Any karma activity one performs which is not for the purpose of yajna is a cause of bondage. Yajna, yajnartat karmana nyatra
Anyatra.
anyatra loke ayam karma bandhanaha. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Karma bandhanaha, or the bondage of karma, is administered under the regulations of the stringent laws of material nature. Material existence is a struggle to conquer the impediments put forth by material nature. The asuras are always fighting to overcome these impediments, and by the illusory power of material nature, the foolish living entities work very hard within this material world and take this to be happiness. This is called Maya. In that hard struggle for existence, they deny the existence of the supreme authority, Purushottama, the supreme personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, anyone would like to read the last paragraph quickly? Finish it off. Anyone would like to read?
May I read, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dhanot Pranam, Mataji. In order to regulate the activities of the living entity, God has given us codes, just as a king gives codes of law in a state, and whoever breaks the law is punished. Similarly, the Lord has given the infallible knowledge of the Vedas, which are not contaminated by the four defects of human life, namely the tendency to commit mistakes, to be illusioned, to cheat, and to have imperfect senses. If we do not take direction from the Vedas but act whimsically according to our own choice, we are sure to be punished by the law of the Lord, who offers different types of bodies in 84 lakh species of forms. Material existence or the sense gratification process is conducted according to the type of body we are given by Prakriti or material nature. As such, there must be division of pious and impious activities, punya and papa. In Bhagavad Gita 7.28, it is clearly stated, Yesham tva antagatam papam gnanam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mama dridavritah. One who has completely suppressed the resultant activities of the path of life. This is possible only when one engages exclusively in pious activities, can understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one engages in the Lord's transcendental living service. This life of engaging always in the loving service of the Lord is called Adakshaja Diyaha, or a life of Krishna consciousness, which King Prithu meant his citizens to follow. Mataji, may I carry on?
Let's check if anyone wants to read. Raise your hands if you want to read, so we can tell. Mataji, continue, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. The different varieties of life and of material existence do not come around by chance and necessity. They are different arrangements made by the Supreme Lord in terms of the pious and impious activities of the living entities. By performing pious activities, one can take birth in a good family, in a good nation. One can get a beautiful body, or one can become very well educated or very rich. We see, therefore, that in a different places and in different planets, there are different standard of life. Bodily features and educational statuses are all awarded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to pious or impious activities. Varieties of life, therefore, develop not by chance but by pre-arrangement. There is a plan which is already outlined in the Vedic knowledge. One has to take advantage of this knowledge and mold his life in such a way that at the end, especially in the human form of life, he may go back home, back to Godhead by practicing Krishna consciousness. In the theory of the theory of chance can best be explained in the Vedic literature by the word Ajanta Sukriti.
Ajnata
Sukriti.
Sukriti, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Agnata Sukriti. Which prefer to pious activities performed without the actor's knowledge. But there are also these are also planned. For example, Krishna comes like an ordinary human being. He comes as a devotee, like Lord Chaitanya, or he sends his representative, the spiritual master or pure devotee. This is also the planned activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They comes to canvas and educate, and thus a person in the illusory energy of somehow or other, if a conditioned soul surrenders to such personalities and by intimate association with them, chances to become Krishna conscious. He is saved from the material conditions of life. Krishna therefore instruct Sarvadharma Parityaja Mama Ekam Sarva Sharanam Praja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshyasiyami Ma Suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. The word sarva papebhyah means from all sinful activities. A person who surrender unto him by utilizing the chance to associate with the pure devotee, spiritual master or other authorized incarnation of Godhead like Prithu Maharaja is saved by Krishna, then his life becomes successful. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. That was such a big purpose. So we are just quickly going through this. So what Prithvi Maharaj previously said, that if you follow my instructions, if you do your duty and also remember Krishna always, keeping him in the center and doing your duty, then definitely you will also share the same results that I am going to get it. Means if Prithvi Maharaj is going to the heavenly planets, the Praja also will go along with him. So now here he's what he is telling, if there is something like heavenly planets, or if there is who's going to take care of this papa and punya, that means there is some authority, somebody is taking care of who's doing what and who's not doing correctly, and who there should be some rule book also which has to be followed. And what is that rule book? These are the Vedic shastras. So there is this supreme authority has given us these shastras to follow. So if we are following according to the shastras, then we are given good karma, or good positions or beauty, or like that it is mentioned over here. And if you are doing bad activities, then definitely you are going to the tamo guna kind of planets, hellish planets, and then finally you are taking birth in a ferocious animal, like that it is mentioned here. So that was the translation, but Prabhupada is mentioning so much in the purport actually. So actually, who was Prithu Maharaj's father? Do you remember the father's name?
King Vena.
King Vena. How was he? King Vena was a?
He was not a good person.
He was not a good person at all. He was an atheist. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was an atheist. So what is the difference? What are atheists and what are theists? Prabhupada has given us the distinction over here. So father is non-believer, but Prithu Maharaj wants that the Shastra should be followed by his citizens. So what are the atheist? What are they? They don't believe in God. First thing, they don't believe in God. Secondly, they don't believe that there are the Shastras are there for them to be utilized. No, they're thinking that this is just theoretical. It is not practical. Then they are stopping all the sacrifices. They don't want to do any sacrifices because they do not want any authority at all. They do not believe in any authority at all, disrespecting the brahmanas, or there are no, according to Vedas, the varna and ashrama culture is that they do not want to respect at all. So what are they believing in? That everything is happening by chance. We read the Darwin's theory, evolution, how it has happened by chance. Something has fallen here, that it has become cooled down, then this earth has come up, then by chance some fishes, by chance some birds, by chance, like that. We are hearing so much that these people are all are atheist. By some physical arrangement it is happening, that is what they think. Then they believe that under certain conditions, this prakriti, it is a combining with something else. Matter is combination of matter, and then some living entity, living force is coming up. So that is what the atheists are believing. And so varieties of these life forces are also coming like that. So they are also believing that there is no there is no Vedic scripture. There it is practically not possible at all. Okay. So King Prithu is addressing not to these atheists who are also present there. He is addressing only to the theists. And what he is telling that everybody, everyone should take shelter of these Vedic injunctions, of these Vedic scriptures, and and lead their way accordingly. So what are the Vedic? That was in the first paragraph. Next paragraph, what Prabhupada is mentioning, that the Varnashrama system which the Lord has created, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam, Krishna is saying that in Bhagavad Gita. This Varnashrama system solely has been made only to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. These systems, these Varnas, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, or Brahmachari, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, they are supposed to do their duty, and at the same time satisfy the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada is telling at the present moment, everybody are claiming they are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra only on the birthright. But there are no such proper classifications required. So these social orders. Then Prabhupada is mentioning about the Mayavada theory. What is this Mayavada theory? He's telling us about that that God is impersonal. He does not have any doesn't have any form. There are no Vedic injunctions. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is getting very angry with such Mayavadi philosophers. They are great offenders of the personality of God. He is telling even Buddha. Actually, Buddha is he has preached the theory of non-violence, but that was an obligatory because people were denying the Vedas and people were killing animals. So he had to bring that non-violence. So they were so even Buddha also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that he is an atheist, Nastika, because he has denied the authority of the Vedas. Same way as those people who think that there is no form of the Lord. Lord is present, but there is no form. You can just imagine any form, shape of the God. That also is very, very dangerous, Prabhupada is telling. That is also very dangerous. You cannot denial of the existence of the God, even that. So but the followers of Krishna consciousness movement, what they are doing, they are strictly following the injunctions that are given in Bhagavad Gita. What it is, yatha pravrutter bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmanatam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manava. Yatha pravritti bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam. That personality of Godhead one should worship, who is the source of everybody. From him only everything is coming up, and who is all pervading. Everywhere he is present. There is no place where the Lord is not present. He is present as Paramatma in everybody. Yeah. To that personality of Godhead, if you are praying and doing your duty perfectly, then you can attain the perfection of life. What is the perfection of life?
Go back home, back to
Oh,
Godhead.
yes. I'm not going very fast, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, ma.
No,
Okay.
Mataji.
Thank you. So this indicates that that Supreme Personality Godhead is the original source of everything. We have seen in Vedanta Sutra Bhagavatam for 1.1 Janmadiyasya Yataha. He is the one original person. Brahma also prays only to him. Govindam Adi Purusham, right? He is the Adi Purusha for everything. Even Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita is telling, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. I am the origin of everything. So of everything. He is present everywhere as Paramatma. He is spread all over. His existence is spread everywhere. Then we have to pray to him. We have to work for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The dharmasya swanushritasya dharmasya samsiddhi hari toshanam. Toshanam means happiness. Hari means the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. So that is the most important point. So what we have to do, because we are talking about Varna and Ashrama. So whoever is in whichever Varna, whichever Ashrama, we are supposed to be doing our occupational duty along with satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so if you remember the pastime of this Brahmana and a cobbler, do you know the story of a Brahmana and a cobbler?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, the faith story, right?
Which story?
Yes, Mataji, I remember.
Faith.
Please tell.
Yes, Mataji. Once Narada will be walking on the streets and on the roads of the forest, and he will find one Brahmana who is coming after performing his duties, and he will be asking Narada Muni, when will he go back to Godhead? That is how many more life he will have to take before reaching to God. So he is very much anxious to know about it. So whenever he meets the Lord, please ask him about it. Then Narada keeps moving. He said, okay, I will definitely ask, and he keeps moving. Then he meets a cobbler on the way. Cobbler also asks the same question. That is, he just want to know how many lives he will have to take before going back to Godhead. So since both are asking the same question, Narada went immediately to Supreme Personality of Godhead and he asked about the same. Then what Lord said is, definitely cobbler only will come to me. Then Narada was in this life itself, cobbler will come, but Brahmana has to take few more lives. Then only he will come back to me. Then Narada was confused. He asked Lord, why is it so? So God said, you just go and say both of them the same thing which I say. You see how they react. Then Lord says that they will ask you what God was doing when you went to meet him. So you please say that Lord was trying to push an elephant through the hole of a needle. So you just see what they both are going to react. Then you will understand why cobbler is going to come to me. And now what happens? Narada itself found this statement was very funny, but he went back to that place and he is meeting Brahmana and cobbler. Both are asking the same question: what happened? What was Lord doing when you met him? And Narada replies that Lord was pushing elephant through the hole of the needle. Now the Brahmana is saying, do you think I am a fool to believe all this? You never met Lord. I can understand you are simply telling something to just pacify my anxiousness. And he just leaves that place. He's not responding properly to Narada and he leaves the place. But now the cobbler, when he is hearing about the same, he said, I'm very nice to hear this. He's saying to this to Narada Muni. Now Narada Muni is asking, why do you believe all these simple things? That do you think that Lord will push the elephant through the needle hole? So this cobbler is saying, when Lord can bring a big tree from this small seed, he is sitting under a neem tree. So from this small neem seed, a big tree is coming out. When God can do such creation, why can't he push elephant through the hole of the needle? So he definitely can do everything. So he has complete trust on God and faith on God. That is why Lord said, definitely cobbler will come back in this life itself. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
And Hare Krishna. The point here was the cobbler, when he was doing his duty, he was not keeping quiet. He was all the time taking the Lord's name. He was doing his duty as well as thinking about the Lord. So that was the point which I wanted to mention. Although the Brahmana was doing his duty, but he is not doing it as a pleasing to the Lord. But the cobbler is doing it as a service to the Lord. So he gets to go home faster. Here the example Prabhupada has given is very apt about Arjuna, that he was a Kshatriya and his duty was to fight. So he executed that duty for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. So we also should follow. And those who do not follow, for them also Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling 16.19. What is that? That those people, those who are envious of the Lord, they go and they are lowest of the mankind and they are very mischievous, notorious. They are doing all bad karma. So where they are thrown in the darkest region, in the hellish planet. They are born as asuras. And then when they go down further, they're doing bad things and they are coming in the form of the tigers and ferocious beasts. But then who is doing this? Who is keeping track of the karma, good activities and bad activities? That is the personality of Godhead. So here in this paragraph, Prabhupada is telling that the Supreme Personality Godhead is what called Purushottama. He is the best of all living entities. He is the chief of all living entities. He is eternal. He is the father for everybody. So he is actually wants his children to be very, very happy. So that is why he has sent this scripture. So you follow these scriptures and become happy. But if a particular living entity is not trying to follow the scriptures, follow the rules of the Lord, and then definitely Lord has to discriminate between good and bad, and accordingly give them the um, result, right? So the right way is what? To satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead. So do his duty and also satisfy the Lord. So now what are the two kinds of duty? Mundane duty and the duty performed as the for the sake of yajna. So yajnarthat karmana. So what happens when you are doing yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana, when you are not doing the work as a sacrifice for Vishnu, then what is happening? You are bound to this material world. Bound to this material world means you are coming, taking birth again and again in this material world. Karma bandhana. So bondage of work. This karma bandhana is under the administration of the rules of material nature, and the material nature is so strong, right? And the asuras are always fighting to overcome these impediments, and because of the illusion, yeah, foolish living entities, what they are doing, working hard and hard and hard to make their existence happy. But is that going to happen? It is never going to happen, because it is illusion. This is Maya. So if you want to be really happy, then you need to work for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Samsiddhim Haritoshanam. So now, to regulate the activities, only Krishna is giving all the quotes Vedic. So the Vedas, the knowledge which is given in the Vedas, Prabhupada is telling it is infallible. Why? Because it is devoid of these four defects of the human life. What are the four defects of the human life? To cheat, to have imperfect senses, to be in illusion,
Committing
to
mistake.
committing mistakes. These are the full illusion. But Vedas are not like that. We don't have to upgrade Vedas. They are there for all the ages to go, whether it is Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, whether it is Dwapar or Treta Yuga. For any yuga you take, it is going to be the same. That can be followed. It is not like right now we see uh, the the Quran or the Bibles are every year they are changing. Amendment is going on every year with that. The Vedas are not like that. They are not under any illusion. They are not made by imperfect senses, not made by any human being. Yeah. So if we are not following the Vedas, then we are thrown into this 84 lakh species of the bodies. Accordingly, the material nature puts us depending upon our pious and impious activities. So, so one who has surpassed this, one who has come to the level of all doing all the pious activities, then he understands the relationship, eternal relationship, what he has with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yesham Twantagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmatam Te Dvandva Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Drudavritaha. And then he engages with determination into the loving service of the Lord. Yeah. So this life has to be engaged always uh, in the service of the Lord, loving service of the Lord. Adhokshajadhiya. So, so the different varieties are not by chance, as one of the Mayavadis we saw before. Mayavadi philosophy is saying that it is by chance. It is by necessity people have changed. If a monkey say human being has come, no, it is not like that. It is the arrangement. It is predefined, pre-arrangement by the Lord. These the varieties of life are not because of some chance or because of some combination with matter. No, it is a pre-arrangement of the Lord. Even who is following the Vedas also, it is pre-arrangement of the Lord. one has to take advantage of this a form of in the human form of life only we can take advantage of these Vedas and go back home, back to Godhead by practicing this Krishna consciousness. So theory of chance is totally ruled out, but Prabhupada here says that we can call it as Ajnata Sukruta. Sometime we would have come across pure devotees. Because Krishna himself comes down many times as his devotee like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or he sends his representative like Ramanujacharya is there, or Srila Prabhupada is there. So many. Our Guru Maharaj, spiritual master, or a pure devotee, he sends them so that they can spread this Krishna conscious movement. They can spread God consciousness. And when accidentally, unknowingly, we come across such a personality, we hear their words, listen to their words, and act accordingly, then that is Ajnata Sukruta. Yeah. By chance, that time we come across Krishna consciousness, and that time we can uplift ourselves. So Krishna is therefore is saying what? Sarva dharmam parityaja, leave all kinds of religions, just surrender unto me. I am the one who is going to deliver you from all the sinful reactions. So he is telling, Moksha Ishyami Ma Shuchaha, I will be delivering you. So from not one, two, three, but all kinds of sinful activities. So one who surrenders unto him, we have to utilize our chance, this chance that we have come across. We are in the, in what do you call, immediately after Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is such a pure devotee, and we have just come across him. He's not even 100 years gone, and we have to take this advantage which has come to our life and get into Krishna consciousness, make our life successful. Hare Krishna. That ends this, and we are already cross time. But if you have any questions or any suggestions, please let me know. I'll stop the share here.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, I have no questions.
Yes.
Thing is, your kind self has taken much risk to explain all these things. That those are all touches our hearts. I am grateful to you, Mataji. So it helps us to be in Krishna consciousness without falling down. Please grace us, Mataji. I am thankful to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's all pray to Krishna once again. One Maha mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Mataji wants to say something. Navakishori Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So shall
Thank
we
you.